Hey, IMC.FB, it is I, Noel Ramos, and I am here with another IMC.concert. This is IMC.concert number 6, numero 6. So, I'm very pleased to be here with you guys tonight because this show almost didn't happen. We were wondering where all the musicians went that had promised to play for us, and they just vanished on us. So, I was kind of saying to myself, well, what should I do? Should I have a show? Maybe it'll just be me, but that would be boring. So luckily, someone came to our rescue and decided to play for us, and I'm so excited about it because we are going to be hearing from the Captain Ledge Band in just a little while. And they are from the Sooner State, so we'll hear all kinds of cool stories about that part of the country. And I'm looking forward to it. So sit in your seats, enjoy the show, but first, got to keep the lights on around this place, so little sponsor love for you. I'd like to thank tonight's sponsor of the IMC.concerts. Songs Alive has been a proud sponsor of the Independent Music Conference since our earliest years. Songs Alive is a 501c3 charity, and it's now 20 years strong. It is the oldest and largest global nonprofit membership organization dedicated to the support, promotion, and advancement of songwriters and composers worldwide. Members can gain feedback on their songs, find co-writers, attend monthly virtual song critique sessions, pitch songs for film and TV, meet music business industry guests, and make invaluable music and songwriter friends as part of their amazing social network. Songs Alive continues to grow and adapt to the industry, and is now also available as a mobile app. Visit their website at songsalive.org to start a 7-day free trial. The IMC wants to thank everyone in the Songs Alive community for their incredible support over the last 2 decades. That's right. So big shout out to Jilly Moon and everybody from Songs Alive. They have been super supportive of the Independent Music Conference for decades. And I've met so many amazing people through their organization, artists and other industry people. I can't tell you how much. And I'm still friends with almost all of them. So it's been a great relationship. I'm so glad that they are involved with us and continue to be. So again, thank you very much. Hey, we got a shout out already. Rhonda's with us again. Thank you so much for being here, Rhonda. I appreciate it. She's a high school graduate, my fellow high school graduate. I won't tell you what year that was because I'd be dating myself. But so I want no, it's okay. You're live now, so let me welcome you, Cliff and Jeana from the Captain Ledge Band. Welcome to the show. It's so nice to see you virtually.
Hey,
Hello,
man.
hi.
Hello from Oklahoma.
Yeah, hello from
the land of sunny skies and other stuff.
hello from Connecticut.
Hey, man.
How are you?
I'm good. We apparently had a very hot day today, and I avoided it completely by staying indoors in the air conditioning. So
How hot was it?
they say it was 95 degrees. I don't know. I didn't go out there.
Hot.
Yeah, it was 101 here, and we got like 90% humidity. So
Oh,
it's a
man.
lovely day.
It was sweaty.
Man, yeah. It's
That's terrible.
yeah. A lot
Yeah,
of sweaty girls running around.
Well, that's not terrible.
Well,
I can't-
Oh boy.
No comment.
And so it begins.
Yes. Remember, you're the muffler.
Yes.
There's things.
Cliff, she's got 2 of us to deal with now.
She's already hit me on the leg twice.
Except people can probably see that.
Oh,
So.
Yeah.
Ooh, look
I'm
at
sure they fully understand.
that. I hope I do.
I was going to say that I can't handle humidity. That's like, I don't mind the heat so much. When I lived out in California, it got hot, like 100, 102, but it was a very dry heat, so it wasn't terrible. But here in the Northeast, it gets humid. And I imagine down there you guys have it even worse.
Oh,
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could say it's muggy.
The best cold beer you'll ever have is after you've been outside in this for about 30 minutes and you get a frosty one that's got ice dripping off of it. Oh, man.
yeah, that goes right here immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
All right, so I've been
Nice.
reading up a little bit on you guys because there is a lot of press about you because folks really like what you do, and it's rather unique music that combines all kinds of different things. I mentioned a few of the descriptions I'd found in the posts I put up about you, but I'd like to hear it directly from you in regard to how you would describe your music.
We call it blue dirt, red grass, because where we're from, there's a lot of red dirt music. But we're sort of bluegrass.
Yeah.
I think the only reason we say bluegrass is because I play mandolin.
People
but we can do it
automatically
lots of different ways.
Yeah, they assume we're a bluegrass band because Jeana's got a mandolin in
Right.
her hand. And she looks like a Southern beauty. So I mean, that's bluegrass
Oh, good
right there.
save.
Well, so do you,
Sweaty
Cliff.
girl.
I've worked on my hair for a couple of hours tonight before we came on. So
Nice.
appreciate you noticing.
Explain to me a little bit about red dirt, because that's a new term to me.
It's kind of country music, but it's rock and mostly
like Southern rock
Southern
sounding.
rock. It involves a guy usually with a baseball cap on, standing up with a electrified acoustic guitar and wailing his guts out.
Well,
see.
and they would call it red dirt because there are parts of Oklahoma, more central western Oklahoma, not so much here, but the dirt is red.
Yeah,
So
it's clay.
it's
not
cl-
really
red
dirt.
clay,
It's-
yeah.
And all
And
the ponds and lakes are all
red.
this red color.
And you don't want to get it on your clothes
'Cause
because
it
you
won't.
can't get it out.
Yeah,
Right? It stains your clothes. So,
Yeah.
so if you have red dirt, do you ever get bluegrass growing out of it, or?
Well,
Ooh.
out there they got a lot of cows, and so the grass doesn't stand much of a chance.
Right, right.
Around here, all the grass is green, so we're in southeast Oklahoma, which is what do they call that? It's another biosphere or something like that, because we actually live in mountains where there's all these big trees and hills.
It's really
and stuff.
beautiful
It's
here.
Beautiful,
Really
here.
beautiful.
And it's not like the desert.
A lot of
out
pine
west,
trees.
right?
So it's good for growing greenery,
Right.
All types.
All types. And they've been doing it since the 50s or 60s. Yeah.
and they're very, very good at it.
Yes. It's great for gardening.
Yeah, they legalized.
Is that what they call it?
Of course.
What do you do for a living? I'm a gardener.
gardener.
Right. Yeah.
I see. Very cool. Well, I wanted to, we'll talk a little bit more about your area geographically and whatnot, but also musically, because you apparently have a rich musical history there. And we want to learn a little bit more about it. But before we do, I think we should get into a song. What do you say?
Sounds
Sure.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this first song?
This song is called Bucket Mouth, and it was nominated for the 2018 International Musician and Entertainers Association Song of the Year. And our album, Rumors of the Great White Skunk, was actually won Album of the Year. So, which was a huge
To our surprise.
surprise to us. We had a gig that weekend and didn't go to the awards ceremony.
We didn't think we were going to win.
So we didn't think we were going to win because we're in Oklahoma and the awards were in like West Virginia or somewhere. So Monday I got online. They'd had the ceremony Saturday night about the time we played. So Monday I get online and there was a video of it. So I forward ahead, and finally we found out we won. It was cool.
And I
Very
actually,
cool.
Wrote this song, Bucket Mouth. It's about gossip, and we're from a small town. So we always say, well, you might as well tell everybody everything because otherwise they're going to assign a rumor to you anyway. So anyway, I don't care for gossip, so that'll come through in the song.
All right, wonderful. Well, we're waiting to hear Bucket Mouth from the Captain Ledge Band here on the IMC Concert.
A liar and a creep, drunkard on the street. That's what they used to be way back before me. Unfortunate poor souls, guess they'll never know. If it was up to you, they'd all be gone. Why you gotta tell me? I don't wanna know. You run that mouth all over town like a bucket with a hole. Leave that gossip in your head and please just let me go. So my mind is free to love, 'cause you ain't got control. Oh, you ain't got control. I just wanna love my friends, just wanna live in peace. Ain't nobody perfect, just let us all be free. We ain't doing nothing right, all got holes to fill. But you just gotta notice, yeah, you just gotta squeal. You just gotta squeal. Why you gotta tell me? I don't wanna know. You run that mouth all over town like a bucket with a hole. Leave that gossip in your head and please just let me go. So my mind is free to love, 'cause you ain't got control. You ain't got control. Your way ain't right for me, it ain't my thinking still. Yeah, my mind is open to the loving I can feel. Well, then my heart is mine, then her heart ain't yours. He only knows his way, so open up the door. Open up the door. Why you gotta tell me? I don't wanna know. You run that mouth all over town like a bucket with a hole. Leave that gossip in your head and please just let me go. So my mind is free to love, 'cause you ain't got control. You ain't got control. Why you gotta tell me? I don't wanna know. You run that mouth all over town like a bucket with a hole. Leave that gossip in your head and please just let me go. So my mind is free to love, 'cause you ain't got control. You ain't got control. You ain't got control. You ain't got control.
Wow, I love it.
Thank you.
Bucket Mouth. That's an appropriate title.
Yes.
Okay, well, I would like to go back to the basics here for just a few short moments and ask you both to give us a brief synopsis of how you got started as musical performers. Tough question, right?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, you go first because mine's going to be a long answer.
What happened was Cliff has played bass forever, and you'll hear about that. But my family is actually very musical too. My grandparents used to sing on the radio, and I was raised singing a cappella music because of the church that we went to. And so really comfortable with harmonizing and all of that stuff. And I never thought anything about it. I'm actually a nurse by trade. And but after I met Cliff and our oldest son, I'm skipping way ahead, our oldest son wanted a mandolin for Christmas one year. And this has been, oh my gosh, like a long time ago. Yeah, and so he never really picked it up and played it, but I just picked it up and started goofing around with it, and then Cliff and I started playing together a little bit, and then we started learning some songs from other artists, and then eventually we wrote some songs, and I don't know, it just sort of took a life of its own.
Snowball from there.
So am I to understand that you just taught yourself to play the mandolin?
Well, I am a singer I can fake it really good on here. I don't even consider myself a solid mandolin player because I can't improvise leads and stuff, but I just, it is what it is.
I think you're being modest.
Well, thank you. But there's a lot of really, really great mandolin players out there that I aspire to. So someday.
It's always nice to have somewhere to go. So that's good.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's right.
And okay, Cliff, so why don't you give us the longer version?
Back when I was a young lad in junior high, my parents gave me an acoustic guitar because they for sure didn't want me to have an electric in the back bedroom. And I sat back there plinking around on it till I was a junior in high school. And a friend of mine who was a senior but was traveling with a college choir playing bass found out I could play a little bit. So he said, next year, I want to play guitar for them, so you're going to play bass. And so about 4 months later, I played my first gig where we got paid. And when I walked onto the campus at Eastern, I had a music scholarship already. And I got to tour with their bands that went out and promoted the college and stuff. And then I went to, that was a junior college, so I went on to college. And still playing my bass and played with a band there that toured. They used to have after-hours circuits because all the states surrounding Oklahoma, they had to close at 2, but in Oklahoma back then the bars could stay open all night. So you wouldn't even start till midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
And we played that, and I was making, as a college kid, I was making about $200 every weekend just playing these clubs. Of course, I'd get
Still what you make now.
school. That's about what we make now, but
Not you.
and
but
then so I got out. College and I parted ways after a while, and I ended up moving to Tulsa and got to work at the Cain's Ballroom some, playing my bass. I started touring. I screwed up and learned how to run concert-size PAs, so I got to do that and tour with bands and stuff. And then I quit in '88 and stayed in Tulsa and did some other stuff. And then in '96, I had an accident where I turned the inside bone of my wrist right here into 5 pieces and had what's called an external fixator on it.
Wow.
And at the same time messed my ankle up, and not nearly that bad. So I was in a wheelchair for a few weeks, and I was ready to get back to playing my bass. And so when I mentioned it to the orthopedic surgeon that put my hand and stuff back together, he was like, well, Cliff, I don't know that you really want to do that. So after I recovered from it, I just never picked my bass up. And then Jeana started learning to play mandolin because we were encouraging the kids towards music. And one day she said, well, Cliff, you need to pick your bass up and play with me. And I did, and it took a while for me to get things loosened up, but I don't have the chops that I did, in the 80s when I was playing in hair bands, but I can play bass and sing with my awesome wife, and man, I'm really blessed. It's just an amazing thing that happened to me.
You don't have the hair either, so it's okay.
Well, I probably couldn't have the hair if I wanted it, even, but that's another story.
How long was your hair?
Oh, down to my waist.
Wow, that's really long.
And that stuff would get this big.
I'm pretty sure there was some eyeliner involved. I've got some pictures.
Spandex and leather and stuff.
So it was glamcore.
It was exciting. Well, it was the 80s, Poison, Motley Crue, it was Cinderella. I mean, you just name all those bands, and it was a hoot.
Okay, so let me just back up for a second. You were talking about college. Just let me know, where was college? Is it local to where you're living now?
The junior college is here in Wilburton. It's called Eastern Oklahoma State College. The Mountaineers will plug in.
Yeah, shout out to the Mountaineers.
Yeah, and Duggo. Shout out to Duggo, who's a radio guy that's real friendly towards us. Yeah. And then later on, I went to Oklahoma State University, and Jeana went to
University of Central Oklahoma.
Right.
Nursing.
Yeah.
So you guys are hardcore Sooners.
Oh, Boomer Sooner. Yeah. Boomer Sooner all the way.
Yeah, Texas is one of the outlying provinces. We thought nobody could outlie Texas, but they can.
Very good, very good. So just so that folks know, the Sooner State is called that because of the gold rush. Am I correct?
The land run. They opened
the land rush.
Oklahoma was Indian territory, and they opened the land up mostly in central and western Oklahoma to settlers. And instead of having like a lottery or anything, they lined them up along the state lines, and then they shot cannons off at a certain time, and everybody ran for the property they wanted. Well,
it's true.
The night before, thousands of people running for Oklahoma City, but it wasn't there then. But the night before, all kinds of people snuck across the border into Indian territory and found the land that they wanted because they'd been out looking, And then when they knew the cannon had gone off, and right before, I guess you could see the dust cloud of people coming, they stepped up and planted their flag, and those were called those are Sooners. So
Gotcha.
Sooner State. Yeah.
Are you sure the folks that were running were doing so because they wanted their land, or were they just afraid of the cannon?
It's hard to say.
Everybody had guns back then too. I consider that.
I never considered that.
They start running in the wrong direction.
Something like that. Yeah.
All right, great. Well, that's interesting stuff. We may have to circle back around to that a little bit later.
Sure.
But how about we get into another song now?
Okay.
Sure.
So what's next?
Waiting on Angels.
Waiting on Angels.
Cliff wrote after a trip to New Orleans.
We go down every year and play a festival in New Orleans. Excuse me, in New Orleans called the Downtown Music Festival. And we've been down there 5, 6, 7 years in a row. For some reason, they love us, and And
for the Cutting Edge Music Conference.
right,
Yeah.
which we're not supposed to mention.
I'm
Okay.
That's okay. No worries.
Anyway,
I apologize.
There was this.
I'm incorrect.
There was this little guy sitting outside the door. We stayed the first year. We stayed at a hotel in the French Quarter, and there was a little guy sitting out next to the door of the hotel, and he had a 5-gallon bucket full of beads. You know, everybody knows what the beads are for, right? So I saw the second day there, I couldn't stand it. Believe it or not, I like to talk to people. So I sat down and started talking to him. And at night, he would go through the French Quarter picking up all these beads, and then he'd sell them during the day because he was homeless. And this is how he created a job for himself. And then when he sold enough beads, he had somebody that would rent him a bed for the night, and so he could stay there. And he worked really hard at this because if he didn't make enough money to rent that bed, the New Orleans Police Department knew who he was, and they would pick him up for his own safety and take him to jail and let him sleep at the jail and then let him out in the morning. But they wouldn't let him out when he wanted out. So this was his way. I mean, the man was literally working to purchase his freedom.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah,
Wow.
7 days a week in the New Orleans heat or cold. It didn't matter. He was out there doing that.
That's
That
quite a
really-
story.
That really touched me. You know, I mean, that's, it would be I mean, I don't know if I could do that, really.
Yeah.
We're super blessed here in our house. We don't have to sell beads on the street. So, so this is for, and I keep telling stories. We went to another conference and we played this song for a lady that was a program director for Sirius Radio. And they had this listening section. And it got through the first verse and the chorus, and she stopped it. She goes, "Who wrote this?" And I held my hand up. She goes, "You don't have the right to write a song like this." You know, just chewed on me. And so, but we still play it anyway. But it's not, but we're not on Sirius either. So
Well, what does she know anyway?
I know she's just a program director.
She'd only heard the first verse of the song.
She was a nice lady. I mean,
Jeana, I just want to point out that he muffled you a second ago. So
He did. All right. Yeah, he did about the other conference.
So it's all good. All right, so here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit more Captain Ledge Band on the IMC concert.
Little old man down on Duval Street, trying to sell beads to the people that he meets. He works all day to put money in a pail so he can rent a bed and not sleep in jail. Waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall, waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall. A little brown-eyed girl begging in the street, giving out a smile to the people that she meets, begging money to buy some food, takes it home to her family in a roofless room, waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall, waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall. On my knees I pray for what I need. I think about these people and my prayer of greed. I have a family and a warm home. We're not out on the streets and we aren't alone. Waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall, waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall, waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall, waiting on angels to come to call, waiting on angels to catch me when I fall.
I really like that one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is awesome. Awesome song. What does Sirius know anyway?
They should know that they want to have us on there.
Yeah. That's it. That's what they should know. So we've got to do some shout outs now because we have a couple people watching, which is great. I especially want to say hello right now to Shannon Nicholas, who performed last week, and
Hey, Shannon.
prior to that, she performed for us twice.
We saw her. That was good. We enjoyed
And
that.
and that you may have heard that she's going to be a mommy. So
Ooh, congratulations.
I know she's a rockin' mommy.
Glad
So-
it's her, not us. Sorry, I don't mean that in, with any animosity. It's
Cliff.
We've had enough, that's all.
Cliff, you would make an awesome mommy.
Yeah, I was.
Let's see who else we got. Cameron, I'm shouting out to Cameron Niemeyer. He's an amazing VFX artist, and I've worked with him in the film business before.
Oh,
And
cool.
Cameron, if you watch Picard, Cameron did the opening text for that show, Star Trek Picard.
Sweet.
I am
Yeah.
honored, man. I am a Trekkie, dude.
Me too.
That is awesome.
I
Wow.
know, and
Can
not
we
only-
touch him? That's the closest I've ever been to somebody from Star Trek, and I want to.
Not only that, but it's really cool. He did a really good job. It's an amazing intro. So
It is.
Yeah.
I watched
remember
that.
it.
I watched that entire first season, and unfortunately, I think Cameron's intro was the most interesting part.
It is. I remember it. It's
Yeah.
really good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang. You know some cool folk, man.
See. Let's see who else we got to shout out to. Folks, you got a comment for us if you want a shout out. So thank you for watching. But if you want us to say hello to you, you got to let us know. So give us a comment, and we will definitely say hello to you right now live. And then, of course, you'll be forever ensconced in history because this will be archived and spread all over Facebook.
No
Yeah,
pressure.
We're waiting
No
on all
pressure.
our friends to comment. So come on now, let's go, guys.
That's right. The Captain Ledge fans got to speak up.
I mean, hey, man.
So while we're waiting for them to do that, let's circle back to the music scene and talk a little bit more about where you're from, because there's lots of famous folks from that area.
Right. The Kings of Leon, Tallahena Sky, that's 30 miles down the road. 15 miles away is the home of Stoney LaRue and Bo Phillips. 40 minutes from our house is where Reba McEntire grew up. Of course, you got Garth Brooks from Henrietta. That's an hour north of us.
JJ Cale.
JJ
from
Cale
Tulsa,
from
Leon.
Tulsa. There's a whole Tulsa scene, which I was blessed to be a part of for a while, which is very cool. A bunch of the guys that were in Bob Will's band were from around Hartshorn, Oklahoma, which is about 15 miles away. And I think most of them have passed away now, but they used to have a party in an area called Pie Valley once a year, where all these old guys got together and played swing. And the only way you could go is if you got invited. And the first guitar player we had, Tony Adams, actually got to go to that. So that was, and he was awesome, but he said he wouldn't get up there and play because he was just too intimidated by these guys. So,
Wow.
yeah. But we call it the artistic desert because even with all of these things going on, it's really hard to get people out around here.
Well, that's true everywhere, Cliff. It's not just in the artistic desert, so don't feel bad.
Good. That makes me feel better.
I'm kind of amazed. I didn't realize that Oklahoma had such a plethora of people that came from there, famous folks from that area. I'm
Yeah.
learning
Yeah.
something here.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. You never know who
Yeah.
might walk up.
Yeah.
I was practicing with a band in Tulsa one day, and this old guy come up, and it was actually one of the Tulsa Playboy, one of the guys from the Texas Playboys, and he was ancient, but he sat there and listened to our band practice all afternoon. So it's cool.
Very, very cool.
And when I was in Tulsa, you could see guys that played with Clapton and Frampton and
Wow.
Yeah.
in fact, Jamie Aldecker, a drummer, just passed away recently. You could see him when he wasn't touring. He was there, and he played on, Lay Down Sally. Him and Dick Sims are the drums and keyboard on it, and he played on a Frampton album or two, and they played for Bob Seger and the Gap Band, and
Wow.
I know it's Leon Russell is Big Tulsa guy.
I'm so like I'm kind of shocked right now that I didn't know any of this. This is really cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come to Oklahoma.
Well,
Oh yeah, come on.
come on.
Place to stay. We'll make
Right.
you a steak.
Oh, I love steak, so now you really hooked me. I might just come down there just for the steak.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so why don't we get into another song now? And if I recall correctly, this one's kind of interesting. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the next one?
This song is called Neurologically Poor. And I wrote it because my son, because just it was goofy. And my son asked me what a lobotomy was. I think he was like 12 at the time. And I was like, well, that's what they had to do before they had psych meds. And so anyway, I just wanted to write a song that had that word in it. And then my poor mother-in-law, who she may be listening, I love her dearly. She's the best mother-in-law ever. But I think she might have been slightly concerned about the lyrics of the song. So, but anyway, it's all good. It's all, mental health all the way.
There you go. All right, so this is called Neurologically Poor from the Captain Ledge Band here on the IMC Concert.
Who are you inside my head? Ain't nothing new. Thought you was dead. Lots of noise rattling round. Sometimes joy, but mostly down. Too much noise, too much sound. All these voices jumping round. Turn up the light, can't take much more. Guess I'm neurologically poor. They say I'm loud, they say I'm mean, but I don't remember a thing. All alone, outside my head, you should have known, wishing you was dead. Too much noise, too much sound. All these voices jumping round. Turn up the light, can't take much more. Guess I'm neurologically poor. Who am I? I thought I knew. They never lie. Too bad it's true. They're here to stay inside my head. So I'll say, hey, glad I ain't dead. Too much noise, too much sound. All these voices jumping round. Turn up the light, can't take much more. Guess I'm neurologically poor. Too much noise, too much sound. All these voices jumping round. Grab a saw, grab a light, a lobotomy tonight. Yeah.
A lobotomy. A lobotomy tonight. I'm just gonna have a beer and a lobotomy.
You're right. Go out
It
in
might
the
help.
humidity
We
for a
need
little
those
while.
right now.
I don't know why it makes me think of this, but I remember you telling me that there's a whole bunch of like famous outlaws from that area.
Yeah,
Yes.
5 miles away is Roberts Cave State Park, where Jesse James and Belle Starr and the Younger brothers all hid out. We're 90 minutes from Fort Smith, where they had Judge Parker's court, the hanging judge. And I did mention this in the movie True Grit. Rooster Cogburn talks about going to get a piece of pie at the Green Frog Cafe. It's in both the old movie and the new one. And where I work is sitting on the site where the Green Frog Cafe was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just a plethora of information here that we're divulging to you tonight.
I'm kind of shocked that it's there's so much going on there, and so many people are from there that I didn't know any of this. I feel a little bit embarrassed that I didn't know any of this.
Oh, nobody else knows
I don't
either.
think we know a lot about your area. We should probably study up on that.
There's a lot of cool stuff from
war at the beginning or something.
There's a lot of cool stuff about Connecticut that people don't know. For instance, Charles Goodyear vulcanized rubber here. We invented the wiffle ball, the typewriter. I mean, there's all kinds of cool stuff.
The yield sign came from Oklahoma. I'm serious.
That's some of that useful information.
Yeah. I've been waiting for years to be able to pull that out.
Is it somehow related to the lobotomies?
I don't know.
Shopping carts were invented in Oklahoma. Did you know that?
That's definitely related to the lobotomies.
We're going to need a lobotomy after this.
Just a bottle in front of me.
Yeah, I love that joke. I'd rather have a bottle in front of me than a frontal lobotomy.
Right.
Especially if the bottle's got beer in it. But not the water beer. Tell me about the water beer.
Oh boy.
Lord.
Up until a couple of years ago, Oklahoma was only one of 2 states that still had 3.2 beer, which is basically beer, but they add a bunch of carbonated water to it.
So you just get bloated and hungover.
Yeah, and it's nasty. I mean, you got to drink whiskey to keep from having a hangover. And we finally voted that out a couple of years ago, and they modernized our liquor laws so that you don't have to have 3.2 beer
Well, we used to
anymore.
drive to Texas to buy beer.
Real beer.
Because we'd be like, okay, this is Texas beer. And everybody'd be like, oh, okay, so we'll drink it. You know.
You couldn't get refrigerated beer in the liquor stores. You could only get 3.2 beer in the convenience stores. It was refrigerated. It was cold.
The rest of it you had to get plan ahead.
Yeah, and if beer gets hot, it gets nasty. So
yeah, definitely.
Nasty beer for 40 years.
What a crazy bunch of laws.
We didn't make them. We voted against them.
Did the guy that made those laws get a lobotomy?
Probably.
Possibly.
Oklahoma was dry up until like 1959 or 1960. So,
well, that makes more sense then. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm starting to see the... All
We're
right.
getting a whole history lesson here tonight.
This is cool. I'm learning all about the Sooner State. I like this very much. All right, I wanted to shift gears here a little bit because as I was researching you guys, I noticed that you have a very rich online presence, which I commend you for, number one.
Thank you.
But you also you've done some really cool videos.
Oh, thank you.
And I enjoyed watching them. And there was one in particular that we talked about briefly called Threadbare. I was wondering if you'd tell me a little bit about that.
I'm the kind of person that fires managers and record companies, and we signed with the record company and fired them 2 months later. Anyway, we had this manager. We didn't fire her. She quit. So, anyway, she was also managing a guy named Jimmy Henley who toured with Roy Clark for 26 years. And so in the process of that relationship, we wanted to do a video for a song from our first album. And so she hooked us up with a guy named Paul Lawson, who had actually been a videographer for and toured with Hanson. And
from Tulsa.
He's from Tulsa. Of
well,
course,
Hanson's from Tulsa.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I didn't know that either.
Oh, here we go, some more. So anyway, so we started communicating by email about this video we were going to do. And I gave him the song, and we kind of got a concept for it and everything. And he goes, scouting all this out around Tulsa is going to be rough. And I go, well, we're pretty picturesque down here. I can find you what you want. So I started going around with my phone and taking pictures of all these places. And he was like, yeah, I like that one, and I don't like that. And so we pretty much kind of storyboarded the whole video via cell phone. And then the day they came down here, we were going to do all this stuff, and it was raining. It was nasty and cold, and oh my God, it was terrible. In fact, in the video, you're going to see a shot of us playing in this barn, and the kid playing the Latin percussion set is our son, Tristan, that had the big party, by the way. Have we talked about it? It's going to be
like, I can't believe you said that.
It destroyed a whole trailer, but that's another story.
Yeah, we'll move on past it.
So, because it was cloudy and raining, the lights, we wanted sunlight coming through the cracks in the barn. So when you see that, that's not really sunlight. It's all the stage lighting I had shining from the shed behind the barn at the back of the barn, so we could make it look like it was sunlight.
Oh, see, this is a little BTS behind the scenes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, you know,
Awesome.
That's
All
the
right,
first time I've admitted that, but it happened.
Well, this is an exclusive then, IMC.concert exclusive.
Right.
Awesome. World revealed to the globe.
Anyway, the video got played on Zeus Country, which was a whole channel into itself for a while, and it stayed on there for 18 months till I guess they went bankrupt and closed. And then it also ran a few times on CMT, which brings me to this. We didn't understand anything about, I got corrected, metadata. And despite this thing being on TV and everything for so long, we never made a dime off of it. I even had one friend call me up one day. We were on the way to a gig, and I hadn't heard from him forever. He calls me up. He goes, "Man, Cliff, I just bought a ringtone of Threadbare. So every time my phone rings, I'm going to think of you." And I'm like, "What? You know, how did that happen?"
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Where's the check?
So
Yeah.
you know, and here.
Oh, well.
Anyway.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because in the IMC group on Facebook, the IMC.FB group, where everybody is watching us right now, I actually bumped a post up from way back in, I think it was 2013 at one of our conferences, where we actually had an entire panel about metadata.
I'm going to watch it. So it's a hard thing to learn. You can't just put it in the description for the file. You got to embed that dude.
And it's different for different usages, so there's a lot to it, but it's important. So we should definitely bring that up as a subject when we can with our next event, which hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll still be able to do in 2020. Keep your fingers crossed for us. We would have presented in May, but obviously with COVID-19, we had to cancel the event and hope to push it a little bit further down to the end of the year. If we can't do it in 2020, then we'll definitely bring metadata up in 2021 just for you, Cliff.
Thank you. I hope I
Awesome.
get to be there for that because I'd like to hear it.
It's very useful. Very useful.
Apparently, there's a
information.
program called like MetaMonkey or something. I don't
There's
know.
probably a whole bunch.
I don't know.
It probably is, yeah. I know that like many of the disc manufacturers, like CD disc makers and Oasis and some of the other companies that were big into disc manufacturing, they had a whole department that handled metadata for the artists. So it's,
You know, they didn't put any metadata on our stuff.
they should have.
They didn't. And they had all the information. They didn't put any of it on there. Because
Who was they? Can we name names?
CD Baby.
Oh, CD Baby. Interesting.
Yeah.
But they didn't produce the disc for you. They just released it for you.
Well, we uploaded the songs. They handled the release. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, that's
it's all
different.
been self-produced.
We'll have
even
to
in
watch
2018
the
did.
video that you're posting or the information that you're posting. 'Cause
Yeah.
that'll be
We'll
educational.
have to do an entire online seminar for it just for you
Sweet.
guys.
That'd be
We'll be
awesome.
there.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Well, without further ado, I think I would like to show our viewers the video if you guys are okay with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Shoot, yeah.
Cool. All right, so let's check this out. This is the official music video for Threadbare.
Skinny little girl puts on high heel boots and walks out into the night. She works all night in the clubs downtown and sleeps while it's daylight. She grew up in a Midwest town, mommy and daddy's little queen. She couldn't wait to get out of that town, trying to catch a dream. She didn't think that she would ever care about running barefoot through summertime meadows. She didn't think that she would ever care about a little cotton dress that was threadbare. Everybody hears about country girls, but nobody knows where they are. They work all night to pay their bills from the backseat of a car. through summertime meadows. She didn't think that she would ever care about a little cotton dress that was threadbare.
Wow. Very cool.
That was a little while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
She gets the double rainbow
2011.
at the end there. Did you see that?
I checked out the sun coming through the slats, the
Right.
fake sun. Very, very well done.
Fun stuff. Yeah.
I work in the film business, TV business, so I take great pleasure in watching that sort of thing and the little BTS snippets like that. So I'm impressed. You did great.
Thank you. Thank you very much. That's awesome.
So who was that on the tracks playing guitar?
Okay, that on the guitar was Tony Adams, who we mentioned earlier that was
You got
invited
to play with the swing guys.
and he played with us for a while. And the young man on the percussion kit is our son Tristan, and that was when he was 14. He's going to be graduating from college in May. So, and then that's our daughter that's also
little
in
girl,
the video.
yeah.
And then of
Cool.
course, Cliff
Yeah.
and I. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the current lineup of the group then?
We have oh my gosh, we have a guy named Clint Spears on guitar who just can.
He's awesome.
There's a little live video on our YouTube channel that's got him on it. He's the Studio B3 guitar player, and then we have a drummer named Mike Robertson who is just. I mean, he's just in the zone all the time. So we're very blessed to have a couple of amazing musicians working with us. They are really
Yeah,
doing
so
something.
typically when you see us in a live setting, we're a 4-piece.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
Cool.
and it's a blast.
every once in a while we do just 2-piece, just the two of us, but mostly
We kind of
4-piece.
prefer but you can't fit all four of us on this little screen right here. So.
There's no space.
Might have been difficult to get him in that room and not have to move all the plants.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
So tell me a little.
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
I said you can catch them in the stream. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of videos, that have Michael and Clint in them, so you can
right.
see how awesome they are.
And just while we're talking about our YouTube channel, there's also a deal there where we did a show in a theater that was videotaped, and there's a woman there doing backing vocals with us named Tanya Thompson, who was supposed to comment tonight, and I don't know if she's listening. Anyway, Tanya toured with Cheap Trick, sang backing vocals and keyboard with them.
Wow.
And then after that was over with, she toured with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young for a while, and then occasionally she gets called in to work with James Taylor.
She's a powerhouse.
Oh my gosh, she's just amazing. Yeah. So, and she's one of my buddies from the way back in the band days when we were all younger and touring. And she can sing metal. She's got lungs in her feet. So it's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. She's a talent. So we've been very blessed to get to work with some really good people. Jimmy Henley played on Neuro on the album the first time we did it.
Jimmy Henley, he was little Jimmy Henley.
Yeah.
He was on Hee Haw.
Yeah.
And toured with Roy Clark.
Yeah, if you watch Hee Haw and there's a little bitty blonde-haired kid shredding the banjo and making Roy Clark look bad, that's him.
You know what Hee Haw is?
Yes, I remember
Okay.
Hee Haw. It was a television show, folks.
Right.
Yes.
A lot of folks
might
probably
Google
remember
it.
Hee Haw. Yeah, Google Hee Haw. That's HEEHAW.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say our kind of humor, but no, it's really not.
I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It makes me laugh.
Yeah, it was a very
What does that say
popular
about
show,
It was very popular.
and it ran for quite a long time, if I recall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a long time.
Much to people's surprise.
Of all the things that could stay on TV. Yeah, no,
Well, look at-
Stan Hitchcock from he was one of the founders of CMT and did the Blue Highway Network for a little while. Commented one time on the Threadbare video and said that we had done the perfect job of combining the video and the storytelling with the song. I just wanted to get that in too. That was pretty cool.
I don't blame you. That's a great bit of feedback, and I agree with them.
Thank you. That's
Well, listen, I do not want to let you guys go yet. I'm going to be greedy and ask you if you wouldn't mind playing an encore. Would you do that for us?
oh sure.
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
We can play as long as you want.
Do
You may
not tempt
want
me.
us to.
Do not tempt me. We'll be here all night. This will be the longest live stream in history.
Ooh.
All right. Well, what can you play for us then? Tell us a little bit about what you're going to play.
We can play, let's see, Little Mama. And we wrote this song about our daughter. And, well, it speaks for itself. But we actually went out to dinner. It was a date night for us. We went out to dinner and we wrote this song on the way home.
We had committed to releasing a song a month for the. I got my reverb on because I'm going to sing. We'd committed to doing a song a month for this agent that we had.
Oh, I
that
forgot
managed
that
Jimmy
part.
Henley. So it was like the night before we were supposed to release this song, and we didn't even have one written.
Yeah, but it came on. It
But
was
we
fun.
kinda knew what we
had
were going
fun.
to do, so we went out to dinner, wrote the song on the way home, walked in, recorded it, and then had Tristan came in and did the drums on it the next morning, and then I finished it up and got it out the next day.
Well, I've heard of a working vacation, but you guys do working dates?
Yeah,
We just like to,
we just like music.
yeah.
It's, you know,
I guess it's not, doesn't feel like work to us,
It's
maybe.
There you go.
it's part of what we do. I mean, it's not. It found us. We didn't go looking for it.
It's like date night every day. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Being married to this woman, this is the sweetest woman on the planet. You
Oh,
guys
there you
are all
go.
looking for the best wife in the world. I got her. She
Aw. And if you ever want to know how to talk to your wife or your girlfriend,
We'll have to
ask
do
him.
we'll have to do a whole seminar just on that, Cliff.
Yeah.
Fine,
What
Captain,
should I
I'll
say
teach you
now?
well, buddy. Hey, it must work. Look who I got sitting next to me.
There you go. Proof positive. All right, well then that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are going to do this for us. I'm looking forward to this. So we're going to hear Little Mama by the Captain Ledge Band.
Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Curly blonde hair and those big blue eyes got enough happiness to fill the skies. Dancing in that cotton dress, that little girl is such a mess. Big old grin, sparkling eyes, full of love and full of surprise. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Curly blonde hair and those big blue eyes got enough happiness to fill the skies. She don't like to wear shoes. If you know her, that ain't news. Try to scold her and slow her down. She just skips right through town. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Curly blonde hair and those big blue eyes got enough happiness to fill the skies. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Curly blonde hair and those big blue eyes got enough happiness to fill the skies. Let's all learn a lesson or two, 'cause little mama knows what to do. Keep on dancing, don't wear no shoes. Love and smiles your whole life through. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. Curly blonde hair and those big blue eyes got enough happiness to fill the skies. Yeah, hey, little mama, hey, mama. Hey, little mama, hey, mama. A curly blonde hair and those big blue eyes got enough happiness to fill the skies.
Nice. I'm glad I asked for an encore. That was great.
Thank you.
Very cool. So she's going to love that song. She's going to love that as she gets older.
Oh, she already does.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Like,
sure.
that's my song.
Yeah. That's very, very cool.
Yeah, it is awesome. She's cool. When we did the video, my mom was kind of riding. Well, she was the kid wrangler for the shoot, you know, and finally Mom goes, well, you know, Bailey, it's awful cold and wet out there. You know, we could go home if you want to. And she goes, no, Mom, no, Grandma, I'm the star.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's true.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, listen, I can't thank you guys enough for doing this for us. I enjoyed this even more than when I watched you guys in the other thing. So this was,
Thank
you know, not just because you're on my show, but because as a fan, I'm watching you as a fan. I'm your newest fan officially.
Awesome.
Wahoo!
And we appreciate you. We really
do,
do what
man.
you're doing for
Yes.
artists, and this is a great opportunity, especially now. And I mean, we play a lot of festivals, and several festivals have canceled, and we just,
Like
you know,
all of 'em.
so
Yeah.
we just really appreciate this.
Yeah, people that help promote musicians, you guys have a special place in heaven as far as because I mean, it's hard enough being a musician, but then the promotion side of it, I mean, that's where the really good artists all fail. You know, they've got to have somebody in there helping them.
Yeah, because there's some great artists
Yeah,
out there that need to be heard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
And without
Yes.
people like you doing things like this, those people don't get heard. So,
Well, I am very happy to hear that when I go to heaven, I'm going to be surrounded by musicians, so that'll be great.
Yay! Yeah.
man, they'll be awesome.
I'm going to enjoy that special place.
Cool. That's awesome. But thank you very much. We very sincerely mean that.
Yes.
Well, I appreciate you very much. Thanks for saying that, and thanks for doing this for us. I'm sure this is going to be a very highly viewed episode of the IMC.concerts. I can see it already.
Cool.
Good. Hope
That's
so.
Before I let you guys go, I need you to do me a big favor and tell everybody where they can find you and your music, please.
Everywhere.
There's captainledge.com
It's our website.
and then there are links on our website to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Or you can Google us.
Just Google us. If you Google us, there's about 5 pages of stuff come up. I mean, we've had 30 something blogs write about us, and there's even on our YouTube channel, there's even a video of us where we captured an owl that got stuck in our fireplace. And we captured it and then took it outside and released it.
So for that reason alone,
I mean, you got
Yeah.
There's one where the camera's going down the chimney and it's spinning and stuff. So every now and then you see this barn owl, you know. So there's
incredible things. On
it's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome, I got to admit. I want to ask you a quick question because I noticed in one of the things that I found online from you that somebody had raved about the Captain Legend band.
Oh yes, there's actually a Captain Legendary band.
Right. And
I don't know if they're still around. I haven't.
Yeah.
But you might run across the Captain Legendary band.
And
That's not
sometimes
us.
people have announced us as the Captain Legend band. They don't get the whole ledge thing. But if your name is Cliff Downing, you know, then you're going to get a nickname when you're touring with a bunch of hairband guys. And mine was the Ledge. So when
It's just as corny as it sounds.
when I was
too, you
feeling
know?
low, they called me Curb. But most of the time,
Oh boy, we're
You did-
spiraling down.
You didn't muffle him in time.
I know it was too late. Bring it back.
All right, the Captain Ledge band. I love it. That's great. Well, wait a minute. I got to rewind that. Where'd the captain part come from?
For a major portion of our kids' lives, we were around sailboats, and we've even done some ocean regatta sailing. But I had all these boys running around on deck, giving them orders, so I didn't have to do any work. And pretty soon I was the captain, you know. And so the first time we did a show, they said, because we were pretty green with Jeana and everything, and somebody said, well, what's the name of your band? And Jeana goes, oh, the Captain Ledge Band. So that's just what stuck.
Interesting.
We threw
Well,
it against the wall. It stuck there.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Oklahoma had so much oceanfront property.
Well,
We have a large lake.
we have one of the largest man-made lakes in the world. About
Lake Eufaula.
45 minutes from our house.
It's man-made?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's huge.
Wow.
Yeah.
Back in the
It's got
50s?
more shoreline. It's
60s?
supposedly it's got more shoreline than the state of California.
Oh my gosh. You guys just keep amazing me with all this Oklahoma knowledge.
Trivia, yeah. They should, I think they should like support us with a sponsorship, don't you?
Lake Eufaula?
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole state.
Oh, the state,
Yeah,
of course.
The-
Heck, we plugged Garth and Reba and the Kings.
I know.
And the state of Oklahoma, the 7 by things, all the outlaws.
You're like a tourism commission.
Well,
That's our new job.
yeah,
Yeah.
ambassadors.
Yeah, you should be the state ambassadors. I think you'd be
I
very good
agree.
at it.
I agree.
And
Write
so-
Governor Stitt when he gets out of COVID quarantine and tell him that you found him a new ambassador. And
I'm going to email that man.
please do. Well,
So it's called Lake Eufaula.
Eufaula, Eufaula, and
Huh.
there's a Lake Eufaula in Alabama, but they got alligators down there. So this one only probably has 1 or 2 alligators as opposed to a whole bunch.
We just
of them.
have very, very large catfish.
Huge catfish, yeah, which Bailey used to like to catch. That was pretty. That's another. So you're gonna have to have us back because man,
Yeah, just to tell the stories.
haven't even touched the
Oh my
stories. We
gosh.
got 2 albums worth of material and working on a third too, man. We play all day.
Very cool.
Been
Well,
warned.
yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, so you've beat me to the punch. I would definitely love to have you guys back if you would be
Oh,
so
yeah.
kind.
Absolutely, yeah.
would be
Well,
honored.
this is our really first, maybe successful attempt at streaming from our home. So hopefully we can improve the technology. Hopefully we can improve the way I speak, but hopefully we can improve the technology so we can get you a little better signal out there. So we're
Yeah, I was
working
going to
on
say, wait till you see the archive version of this before you tell me it's the most successful show you did.
well, it's like the second one, so at least there's only nowhere to go but one. I mean,
Well, it was fun, if nothing else. I
Thank you.
really enjoed you guys very much.
we-
As I knew I would. I'm not surprised at all.
Oh, cool. Well, hopefully this is the funniest show you ever did.
It may be. It may be.
Okay. Well, I'll go look at all of them. I'll let you know at the next time that we're together.
We'll have
That's
to
your
have
assignment for next time.
we'll have to have a ledge rating for the
Yeah.
humor.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Oh,
in.
don't encourage this. This is you don't know what you're doing.
Yes. I'm on it, man.
Create a
I'm on it.
monster.
Don't worry. So
Awesome.
look for our next album. And I'm not going to tell the name of it yet because we haven't told the rest of the band.
Okay.
And then also I'm working on the mixing for an album of all the bands that were in New Orleans last year for the Downtown Music Festival. So I've had an ear infection, so I hadn't been working on it, but we'll be knocking that one out too. So there's some pretty cool music coming up for us in the near
Yeah.
future. Our producer, we're going to get a producer for the next album, and he's a guy that's worked with Garth Brooks and Alison Krauss. And so we're really excited. Going to be a real studio album instead of me engineering it at home.
Okay. Sounds great.
So it'll be a lot better.
And you'll update your website with all this info, right?
Oh yeah,
yes.
you bet.
All right. I will definitely put your website link in the comments below this when we're
Okay.
done with the show. And
Okay.
and just to say it one more time, it's captainledge.com.
Correct. That's correct.
Awesome.
Or just Google the Captain Ledge Band. I mean, if you really want to dive into all of it, like I said,
And
there's a bunch of stuff there.
And find the barn owl.
Find the Barn
Barn
Owl
Owl,
video.
yes.
Yeah, do that one too.
All right, Cliff and Jeana, thank you again so much for being with us. I really enjoyed this and love talking to you guys. I hope that you will get a chance to come to our next event when we finally have one in person again. We would love to have you there in person. I know that all my IMC family would love to meet you guys as much as I enjoyed talking to you.
Cool.
All right, great.
Hopefully we can make that happen.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. All right, folks, I'm going to say goodbye to the group now, and we're going to wrap this IMC.concert up. But I just wanted to thank Cliff and Jeana one more time for being with us. It was so much fun. Really enjoyed this show, and we'll definitely have to have them back for a future IMC.concert because I can tell Cliff has lots more stories to tell us, and I look forward to hearing those. And as I said, I'll put a link to their website in the comments below so you guys can go and check them out some more in your own time and enjoy more of their music and videos, because it's definitely worth doing. And I want to thank my sponsor, Songs Alive, for this episode, and Jilly Moon. Big shout out to her, longtime friend, amazing artist and musician, and one of the founders of Songs Alive, which is a global organization, and all the way to Australia and back. And I've actually been to Australia. We did a IMC there in Brisbane, and just wonderful people. So can't say enough about them. And having said that, I'm going to wrap up the show. But first, I want to tell you guys some good news. Ricky is no longer sicky, so he will be back, and he will be performing for the IMC concert next week. So we're really looking forward to that. Ricky England played for us at the IMC in Los Angeles. He was amazing, and I can't wait to hear more of his music, and I'm so happy that he's feeling better. So we're looking forward to hearing from him. Make sure you tune in next week for another IMC concert with Ricky England. And having said that, I want to say goodbye to you guys now, and thanks for watching.